Bret Michaels, or as you might know him, Bret Michaels. That's just who he is. Bret Michaels, frontman and guitar player of Poison, and lesser known as the host of the mainstream television dating show Rock of Love from the early 2000s.
Baby, give me nothing but sex, all right? All right, work me, baby. All right, here we go.
Sadly, this video isn't about the cringe fest that is Rock of Love, because Finn McKenzie already made a video on that, but instead it's about Bret Michaels' merchandise. And I know what you may be thinking, what's wrong with selling a little merchandise? And frankly, nothing. Every musician, every entertainer sells merch in some way or another. Even I do. I'm no exception. There is much in my description. But believe you me, Bret Michaels merchandise is not like the rest. So let me enlighten you. I'm here on shopbretmichaels.com, and first off, this website is a fucking travesty. He must have made this himself. But also, just on the front page, you get punched right in the fucking face with Rockstar by Blue Rain. With this candle, you've just been given a backstage pass to the sexy, seductive, and spicy scent of a rock star. Inhale the addictive scents of suede, saffron, musk, and cedar, and let your imagination run wild. So I'm going to assume Blue Rain is like a reputable, known candle maker. Just give me an assumption for what this would cost. You know, a 27-ounce candle in a jar. I'm somehow willing to bet you did not say $100. I mean, according to the description, this thing is an absolute pussy magnet. You know, I don't usually go walking around town holding a lit candle, but I guess if you do, you won't be returning home alone. But we have not even scratched the surface yet, because off to the side here we have browse by category, and this is where hilarity ensues. So we've just gone over Blue Rain candles. Let's move on to books. Signed hardcover, Bret Michaels' Auto Scrapography, My Life's Scrapbook in Pictures and Stories. $100 as well. Granted, if you don't need the signature or the hardcover, you can get it for $25, which is a much more reasonable price for a book. So let's have a look at some reviews. What a delightful read. A must read. This is a must read. I couldn't put it down. See, couldn't put it down is more of a thing I expect people to say about, I don't know, a Stephen King novel, and not a picture book of Bret Michaels' biography. But Jessica rated it 5 stars and gave it an honorary 100 stars, so I'm gonna trust Jessica. Moving on to apparel. By the way, I'm only glossing over all of these categories. It goes much deeper than I'm going in this video. I just don't want it to be too long. Apparel starts off strong with banana graphic socks. Bret is charging $20 for a single pair of socks that says Bret Michaels Bandana Banana. Yeah, this is all pretty normal stuff. The Party Gras is his tour that's currently going on. Here's a nothing but a good vibe tank. I wouldn't have categorized this as a tank myself. This looks more like a summer dress kind of situation, but I'm not a women's clothes aficionado, so, you know, I'll leave it to Bret Michaels. I guess it's a tank. There's nothing egregious or offensive about this. It's just, you know, $35 seems a bit steep, but whatever. Bret Michaels Find Your Groove tee. This goes hard as there is no image of the shirt, it's just the graphic that's going to be on the shirt when you receive it. And what I find interesting is the fact that it says retail $35 and then the actual price is $30, and it says you save $5, but I'm not sure I save $5 compared to what, because this is retail. You can't get Bret Michaels merch anywhere besides shopbretmichaels.com. So who else is retail? Bret Michaels Viva El Rock and Roll Unisex Tee. God damn, bro. Property of Bret Michaels Music Department Concert Team long sleeve. This is the crummiest shirt I have ever seen, and he wants $40 for it. And you know what? At this point, like, I don't even doubt that people are buying this, because half the stuff I've clicked on so far has been sold out. I love the idea of women wearing a shirt that says property of Bret Michaels. I'm in a band. The rules don't apply to me. I totally would have bought this for this video, by the way. I would have bought a bunch of stuff for this video in order to just be able to have it here and showcase it. However, they don't ship pretty much anywhere outside of the USA. Select countries, but they don't ship to the UK, they don't ship to the EU, so I don't know. Moving on to cologne and fragrance. Now, this is one of my favorite sections of the website, not because he sells cologne and fragrance, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, especially like in the mainstream pop scene, a lot of musicians actually sell fragrances, and most of them smell very good. Like, I don't know, Ariana Grande comes to mind. So there's nothing egregious about him selling a fragrance. I also don't doubt that it smells good. I feel like if you're a professional, like, perfume and cologne manufacturer, it's pretty hard to make one that actually smells objectively bad. My favorite thing is the quote-unquote scented bandana. Then there is the apparently very popular, since it is constantly sold out, Bret Michaels Roses and Thorns cologne. Make your perimeter excite and ignite the senses. For some reason, this does sound just like a Borat quote. Now, if you for some reason naively thought that maybe that $100 Rockstar candle would be the only one up for sale on the elusive shopbretmichaels.com, then you're an idiot and you owe Bret Michaels an apology. Because there is an entire candles section with 41 products in it. A lot of these are Christmas themed, which is weird because that means they are out of season about 99.9% of the year, especially if it is, smells like whatever Christmas tree smells like. But like, no one wants the smell of gingerbread or like vanilla eggnog outside of like the second half of December. Please note, in warmer months, orders with candle products will be shipped only on Monday or Tuesday. I don't know what the outside temperature has to do with the day of the week that products are shipped, but I'm not going to question the Bret Michaels shipping department. Now this next one is also in the running for one of my favorite sections, Headwear. Bret Michaels Green Skull Hat, Plain Skull and Crossbones. So what this is a $125 crappy cheap wicker cowboy hat that I could probably get on AliExpress for like $8, featuring these absolutely horribly and crookedly attached Bret Michaels and Skull glow-in-the-dark patches. Also, this is one of those instances that made me notice that this isn't like the Ingvar Malmsteen merchandise that I made fun of, which is clearly just like white label garbage like Redbubble, which just sits like blank in a warehouse. You can just upload your design and they print it onto any garbage in the factory and then ship it out from there, because this picture is taken like of the actual hat, not a Photoshop mock-up or anything, on some wicker chair, probably in Bret Michaels' backyard. So this leads me to believe that he probably owns like a warehouse somewhere or has his basement just filled to the ceiling with all his goddamn merch. Bret Michaels lime green hat, Bret Michaels pink hat, Bret Michaels teal hat. Also, here's the Roses and Thorns bandana unscented, by the way, so, they don't upcharge you for the 2 spritzes of cologne that they put on it. Bret Michaels winged skull logo cowboy hat, tea-stained. The home goods section is really small as far as quantity goes, but in exchange, you get this incredible Bret Michaels Says Rock the Kitchen apron, which in the product photos is being modeled by Bret Michaels himself. This image goes so unbelievably hard, I can hardly believe they didn't just print this onto a t-shirt and then also put that up for sale on the website. The jewelry section, I must say, is quite disappointing because as far as I can tell, all of this, while it is unisex, is geared more towards men, like these bent steel bracelets and guitar pick necklaces and stuff like that. Whereas what I was expecting was more of a Joe Bonamassa jewelry situation where, KDH made the Joe Bonamassa merch video similar to this one, and it entailed pretty much anything you can imagine but Joe Bonamassa branded, including like earrings and, just stereotypical women's jewelry, I guess, whereas this isn't geared as much towards women as I'd hoped, so I'm disappointed with the lack of jewelry. Accessories is a fantastic section because not only does he still sell cloth face masks for $15 a pop when mask mandates have been dropped in every country in the world by now, but also for $10 you can get these absolutely horrid looking tie-dye sunglasses, which I guarantee, as someone who's been looking into merch for a while, I absolutely know that these didn't cost more than like $1.20 for him to make. Those big costume glasses with the big nose and the mustache and eyebrows attached? That's pretty much going to be the same quality of frames. This is one of the things I definitely would have bought had I been able to order some stuff in advance to show off in this video, but they are sold out. And I'm not surprised because I wish to even at some point be half as cool as any of the people who have been lucky enough to acquire one of these before they sold out. But we are now moving on to my absolute favorite section of this website by a long shot, the paper goods section. Now, when you think paper goods, you might think like, signed autograph cards, and not like printed autographs, actually, hand-signed ones. And that's what I was thinking. But no, these are actually just unsigned, printed out pictures of Bret Michaels for $10 a piece. Literally, it's a color photo of him in a hat with flames on it. It just says color Bret Michaels photo from a Mitchell Parsons photo shoot. It doesn't even tell you the size of it. I'm just gonna assume it's like, postcard size, which is about yay big. So $10 for this is just egregious. Not to mention the fact that this is literally just a picture that I could download off of this website, go and print out, and then have for like, what does a color copy of something like that cost, 8 cents? Then besides the regular color photos, there are also the inspirational note cards and inspirational photos and whatever, but once again, These are literally just pictures of Bret Michaels doing something or other, sometimes also featuring text, $10 please. If these actually sell, which I doubt that they do, this has to be like the highest profit margin product on the planet, right? Because I can just go upstairs right now to my printer, print out a bunch of pictures of myself and then ship them to people. If they want to pay $10 for that, you know, fucking gladly. He does have his own official Pop Rocks Funko Pop, which those are cool if you like Funko Pops. I really hate them because they don't have mouths and that kind of takes the character out of a lot of the famous characters, but you know, it's whatever. $12.99 for a cool Funko Pop is a really good price. If you happen to want it, you know, signed, and I mean hand signed by Bret Michaels, that'll only cost you about $90 more. Not even going to mention this absolutely vile plushie. And last, but most certainly not least, we have the entire section dedicated to diabetes awareness. Now, I did one single Google search, and yes, Bret Michaels is a type 1 diabetic, so I guess that makes this make somewhat more sense, but it doesn't make an entire section on your shop website dedicated to diabetes any less weird. Part of this section is literally just a t-shirt that says Bret Michaels Diabetic on it with a picture of him shirtless. But the back of the shirt goes even harder because it says Bret Michaels 52,000 injections, 105 blood tests and counting. And I think they really do mean and counting, because it says text on back of T varies. So I think there's a situation where like once all of the shirts are sold out, which they aren't right now, they aren't out of stock, one of few things that aren't out of stock. Once they're sold out, you know, they'll just give Bret Michaels a ring and say, hey man, how many blood tests and injections you had by now? And then, you know, they just kind of open up Adobe Illustrator, change out a few numbers, and then print the shirts again. So I guess technically if someone has an old one, you could say like, oh, this is a pre-100,000 blood tests Bret Michaels t-shirt. Now, just before I wrap up this video, you may have seen on a few of the, you know, more low-end products on the website, it says Bret Rewards to purchase and Bret Rewards earned by purchasing. A Bret Reward is something you get for purchasing a product. $1 spent on the website equates to 2 Bret points. You can also earn bonus Bret points by leaving reviews under a product. Something tells me that this may only be applicable to like positive reviews, but I don't want to accuse Bret Michaels of anything, of course. And you can earn bonus points by sharing products to social media like Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter. You can start exchanging them for products on the website starting at 50 points, so $25 spent, and 50 points I think equates to $5, which would allow you to get the cheapest Bret Michaels print out picture on the website, I guess. I guess it's better that I wasn't able to buy anything for this video, because I guess my Patreon members can rest more easily knowing that I don't waste the money that they give me on BretMichaelsShop.com or whatever. Speaking of Patreon, by the way, big thanks to all of my Patreon members for supporting the channel continuously. Here are all of their beautiful, lovely, wonderful names. You can also become a Patreon member for the low price of $1.90 a month, which is cheaper than anything on shopBretMichaels.com. In exchange for all of these lovely benefits, and if you want to buy some of my merch, which isn't egregiously priced and is also much cooler and there is much less of, you can go through the link in my description to my eBay store. Thank you for watching. Social media is in the description. Last video, subscribe button. Goodbye.